Hello Zany people, welcome back to my channel where we apply analysis to all things. Today we're going to be talking about the Black Skaven and how we build them. So right off the bat, the Black Skaven is a hero unit that is probably the best at doing damage in terms of melee damage on your team. They have a lot of physical points and potential. Of note, it is outside of the impressive, the Rat Ogre, the Black Skaven is the only unit, hero or otherwise, in the Skaven team to be able to have both 9 strength and 15 agility, or 9 agility and 15 strength. And this is very important because with it he can have the DareDevil and high avoid, high dodge chances, or maximize his DareDevil and damage dealing abilities and still have dodge and avoid, whereas most other Skaven units will have to choose between having 15 agility and not having 9 strength, or having 9 strength and not having 15 agility. That's where most Skaven have to choose. But with the Black Skaven, you don't have to make that choice. It's more of a choice between whether strength or agility that you bring all the way up to 15, where you can learn the rank 2 of the masteries. And so I will actually go over 2 builds today in this video that actually showcase the 2 different choices, either going full strength and maximizing that out and what that build would look like, or the other route, which is the 15 agility route, and what that kind of Black Skaven would look like and what sort of possibilities exist in that area. So first, let's talk about the full strength Black Skaven, as it's more simple to understand, although I think it's also ironically more difficult to handle when in combat in terms of using it carefully. So with the Black Skaven, you start off first with Perfect Killer. Their attacks bypass 10% of the enemy's armor absorption, which means that if you're going against heavier armor units, Black Skaven is good at going through that armor. It does not mean that he can hit them easier or have better chances of hitting them. It's just that when he does hit them, when his attacks connect, 10% of the armor absorption is ignored. They can only wear light armor or cloth, so they can't actually go heavy armor, so keep that in mind. They cannot tank with the armor. They usually will have to choose, dodge and parry or melee resist. And because you see that their agility can go all the way up to 15, I think dodge is a viable choice. Although you can also choose to maximize their parry. But for this build, we are actually going to be looking at how how agility and strength interact with the Black Skaven. So with the Black Skaven, I usually start off with Avoid to increase his dodge chance, because and Avoid only requires 9 agility to get off right off the bat. So actually, regardless of whether I'm going full strength on my Black Skaven or if I'm going full agility, I first get my agility to 9 and get Avoid so that his dodge chance go up high enough so that he can reliably dodge attacks. Not only that, but when you're upgrading agility, it also gives you melee resistance, which can definitely help keep him alive in a fight. So just keep that in mind. And then after I have Avoid, I can get my level 1 Sidestep, which is also a 9 agility required skill. After that, you can branch off into full strength build or full agility. And for the full strength build, I would continue. After getting 9 agility, I would continue on to get 9 strength, and the first skill after that I would get is DareDevil. It is an incredible skill to obtain, and what it does is every single time that you hit somebody, whether or not it's a regular attack or a counter attack, you get a free dodge attempt. So each time you get a free dodge attempt, you're basically negating enemy damage, and sorry about that. You get to you get another dodge chance every time you hit somebody, so that's really good because you can actually prevent a whole turns worth of enemy dealing damage to you because of their offense points being unspent. You can just waste all of that by dodging all of their attacks. Also, DareDevil combos really well with several of their abilities, especially abilities such as Avoid, which actually, it passively grants you more dodge chance. So once you get DareDevil, each of those dodge attempts will actually be a lot more meaningful and a lot more reliable. So with that said, once we have DareDevil, since we're going full strength build, you have to keep in mind that to get the mastery level of an ability, the gold cost goes up really high, and in the beginning of the game you really can't afford the level 2 mastery skills just yet. Just if you look at the Avoid, it costs like 500 gold without any sort of discount. I have like level 1 discount, so it's 475. So just keep that in mind. A lot of people like to get Mighty Charge on the full strength, and I don't think it's a bad choice to get. However, it does come with a huge cost. The biggest problem that I have with the Mighty Charge is the fact that you can't guarantee that it will hit. You have a negative 30% chance to hit, so getting that right away is really, really hard to get off. I mean, sure, you're getting more damage, but if you're not hitting, your damage is virtually zero, right? So if you're gonna go with the Mighty Charge, I would first get skills that ensure that you can hit with it. So getting Strider would be a very good choice. I would also consider getting Bull Charge. Not that you'll need Bull Charge, because you already have 8 movement points, so your charge can be charging from 8 meters, but just in case somebody has Blitz on their team and their ambusher has, greater distance for ambushing, Bull Charge lets you charge from further away. Basically, if you can outrange their ambush, then you can charge in on a target that's already ambushing you from further away, so that you're not in their ambush range, but they're within your charge range. So that's pretty important to get. I would get Strider first, and then Bull Charge, and then grab the Mighty Charge. Alternatively, you can get Swift Charge, and it does also give you a little bit of damage bonus, but it also actually makes it easier for you to hit. So it's that much more reliable. It's really up to you which you get, because you will have a ridiculous amount of damage coming from your strength. Swift Charge and Mighty Charge both are good choices, and in my opinion, the way I play, I like to guarantee things. I don't like to sort of gamble with my units and have them die. So for me, I would get Swift Charge, but if you're going, your entire build is to go to the Mighty Charge build, you would want to get Strider level 2 first before you even get level 1 of Mighty Charge. Just my opinion. I mean, not only, just think about it like this, it's not wasting time to get Strider first, because you can still charge with a normal charge, and Strider will help you and Bull Charge will help you. So it's not a waste of time to get them. And then, just so you know, because you're going with the DareDevil, it reduces your melee resistance. So what that is once again, it helps you dodge sort of like your reflexes. It helps you make the enemy miss you more often, and it's the percentage that's subtracted from their hit chance directly. So it's very, very good. But with DareDevil, it basically reduces your ability to reflexively dodge somebody with your melee resist. So any melee resist passives or abilities are just not going to be very efficient on the Black Skaven. So you really don't need all that much melee resist if you think about it, because you're negating your own melee resist. And sure, if you're going the 15 strength route, you can get Daredevil level 2 and have that penalty be reduced. But if you reduce your 30% melee resist by 15%, you're halving it, okay? You're actually reducing it by 50% out of your total melee resist, meaning you'll have only 15% melee resist, which is really low. So just think on that for a second and realize that you don't need melee resist if you're going Daredevil. What you really want is dodge, right? So and in the beginning of the video I said you have to choose between dodge and parry. If you go Daredevil, you're choosing dodge, okay? You're not choosing parry because you don't get more parry chances, you get more dodge chances. So that's that. I would like to point out also that you still only have 30 points. So that means that you'll have to, like, what I like to do is have 4 maxed out skills or masteries, and then 3 skills that are non-masteries, because the point totals work out like 6 points for a total leveled up skill, because you know a level 2 skill is 4 skill points, and then a level 1 skill is 2 skill points. So a totally maxed out skill requires a total of 6 skill points, meaning out of 30 you can have 5 skills totally maxed out, or you can have 4 maxed out and 3 at level 1, or 3 maxed out and 6 at level 1, etc. I recommend my build where if you're focusing on Daredevil, you definitely want to max it, and then because you're focusing on the 15 strength and maximizing Daredevil, you do have the choice of maximizing Mighty Charge for that 1 round of massive damage to be able to take out somebody or an enemy from either half health to maybe even 3/4 of their health, all the way to 0 in 1 hit. But the problem with this is you need to support it with skills such as Strider and Bull Charge. So Strider level 2 for sure. Bull Charge level 2 is it's something that I would consider, but since you're going a full charge build anyway, it would not be a bad choice to max it out. Finally, I would also highly recommend that you max out Mighty Charge if you're going to get it, because it actually does make it a lot easier. It actually makes it a lot easier to hit, and the damage goes up. Well, the damage goes up a lot higher, and it bypasses a lot of their parry chance. So it does make it easier to hit with it. And then finally, I strongly recommend not getting Frenzy. I know that there are builds out there that say that you should get Frenzy, but once you Frenzy, I don't think you can actually do Daredevil anymore, because it doesn't actually directly hit somebody, and Frenzy doesn't let you use any abilities that hit somebody, that doesn't directly hit them. So you need to understand that that's what Frenzy does. So yeah, just Daredevil and Mighty Charge already has enough damage. I would obviously you can't level up Avoid or any of the agility skills past at level 1, because they require level 15 agility. So Sidestep is going to stay at level 1, Avoid's going to stay at level 1, and then I think a good thing to consider is either Prowl at level 1, which really combos really well with your Daredevil. So once you start a turn with Daredevil and then you end it by prowling, it's kind of like an ambush, and except you get one extra dodge attempt. When you ambush someone, they're gonna counterattack you, right? So you get to dodge that first counterattack with Prowl, and then because you've hit them, you also get your DareDevil dodge coming in for the second counterattack. So you can just keep hitting them and counterattacking them, and then every single time they counterattack you, you actually get a dodge attempt. So it combos really well with DareDevil, but at the same time, because you're relying so much on your dodge chance and you're not at level 15 agility for the full strength build, a good alternative to think about is knowledge tactics. It also increases your dodge chance by 5%, and it's not a small amount. You can definitely actually get this to level 2 as well, and it makes your dodge even higher. And it requires 9 intelligence, and you can actually get there. It's not impossible to get your dodge up to a very reliable threshold with it without having 15 agility. The problem with this build, however, is that because you don't have any melee resist and you're relying so much on your dodge percentage, every time that you do get hit, every time you don't have dodge up, you're almost guaranteed to get hit from melee. So what that means is you're actually really fragile if you're not dodging. You're very easy to hit if you're not dodging. So I would call this build the finisher. You're basically sending him in to finish things off, hitting them with incredible amounts of damage and killing them either with mighty charge or just by coming in just by coming in and hitting them with DareDevil on. You're doing like an additional 75% damage per hit. It's quite amazing. I would also consider getting flash parry. I mean, not flash parry, sorry. Where is it? Swift counter. It requires 15 points of weapon skill to upgrade level 2. It's very good as well. It basically allows you to counterattack more often, because every single time you counterattack, you can recover. You have a 50% chance to recover 1 offense point. This is if you're really trying to sort of start a fight and finish it all at the same in one turn. It's definitely a good get, but it just really depends on how aggressive you want to play with this Skaven unit and how much you want to invest in avoid and knowledge tactics to get them up to be able to dodge. Alternatively, you could just say I don't want to do mighty charge and get avoid level 1, knowledge tactics level 2, which is the one that gets you more dodge, and then allow yourself to max out swift counter, and fully utilize DareDevil as your damage, and just go with this and like put the points that you would have put into mighty charge into swift counter, and then that frees up a lot of other skills. This is an alternative build that I think could also work really well, and at that point what you would want is you would want to get insult and kidney strike to be able to reduce their melee resistance and be able to hit them more reliably. So you would start the turn with with DareDevil, so that it'll upgrade your damage. You will maybe charge into them or just go up to them and engage them in melee, and then start with maybe insult. Start with insult, lowering their melee resistance, and then kidney strike them, and then because you hit kidney strike them with DareDevil on, then you can dodge their parry, or you can dodge whatever counter attack they're doing, and then you can just keep hitting them repeatedly with swift counter to back you up with more chances to hit them back, and then you can basically keep hitting them and dodging, right? So that's another way to build them. Actually, I will include both. I will include the mighty charge finisher, and I would also include just the swift counter mighty build. And then I'm gonna go over finally the 15 agility, because once you have 15 agility, this guy stops being a fragile duelist and he becomes more of a duelist fighter type guy that can actually sustain himself quite well in a fight. Let's see, I will explain why that is. So okay, remember how you would start, regardless of whether you're going 15 strength or 15 agility, you would start off with 9 agility and get sidestep level 1 and avoid level 1. Well, at this point, the 15 agility variety would also get my Daredevil, and it wouldn't. And then I would branch out more to the agility. What you would want to do is actually do. Where is it? Okay, so knowledge tactics. Definitely get knowledge tactics. And then once you get that, I would upgrade sidestep to level 2. Once you get agility 15, I would get sidestep level 2 and avoid level 2. And then you could also level up knowledge tactics to level 2, but I think that's almost overkill. Like, you could leave that at level 1 and maximize fully upgrade DareDevil so that you have even more damage increase and your melee penalty is reduced. What this already does for you is something that is very different from. Oh, actually, yeah, you don't get to. Sorry, my bad. You can't level up Daredevil level 2 with 15 agility. But what this allows you to do, it's something very different. You would actually end your turn with sidestep on, but you would have already triggered your your Daredevil. So you would have triggered your Daredevil on your turn, and then you would probably end your turn with sidestep level 2, meaning you get 3 dodge attempts. What this means is this guy actually is extremely tanky, but not using the melee tank. What you're doing is you already have 3 dodge attempts, right, against any target. And then when anybody hits you and you or anybody tries to attack you and you get a free counterattack, when you counterattack them, you get an additional dodge attempt. So that you're really going beyond the 3 maximum dodge attempts at this point. So, and here's another thing. I believe, I haven't really checked this out, but I believe that if one target hits you or attacks you and your initial dodge worked, you still have 2 other dodges, right? But you don't use those dodges anymore as long as you hit them. You use your I think if you use Daredevil to hit, trigger Daredevil and hit them, then their next counterattack against you, you'll be able to dodge using that Daredevil dodge instead of the sidestep dodge, so that if another enemy comes and attacks you, you can still use your sidestep dodge. I think that's how it works. I will update this video once I have actually been able to test it out, but I first tested out the full strength one, so I haven't actually tested out the full agility one yet, so I actually don't know. But this build also clearly can go with the swift counter. I think actually this is probably the most ideal, because with just a sheer number of dodges, you can pretty much trigger your counterattack repeatedly more often, right? So swift counter gives you even more offensive points to do that. So you're just a dude that's just dodging everything and constantly counterattacking everything and being incredibly hard to hit because of all the dodge that you're stacking with avoid level 2 and maybe level 1. You could even go level 2 if you want, of knowledge tactics. And then again, I strongly recommend insult on this build and kidney strike, because it guarantees you to hit them. it lowers their ability to it lowers their melee resistance, which is really great. And you can duel like nobody's business. You can just fight 1v1 against anything. You can go against an impressive and make that impressive look like he's just not able to do anything to you because you can just dodge all their attacks. You are as a Black Skaven like that, it's 15 agility. Black Skavens are pretty ridiculous. I've been using this guy, and he kind of stomps everything. But the problem with him is you don't want him ever fighting against a large group on his own. So what I usually do is just keep him sort of near my main army, just almost like as a part of my main army of henchmen. Like I just keep him near my henchmen so that he can back up my henchmen and kill off pretty much anything. He can go and fight something, and then the henchman can come in and surround whatever he is attacking. And the 15 agility Black Skaven, I think, is just very, very strong in terms of not being as fragile and not being as much of a glass cannon as the 15 strength one. That said, the 15 strength one just rips things to shreds. Like, it's a very different mentality when you're playing the 15 strength Black Skaven. The 15 agility is just, I'm not afraid of anybody anymore, and the 15 strength is, you should be afraid of me. So yeah, that's kind of the two different Black Skaven sort of paths, I would say, that I see going down. Obviously, Black Skavens can also be spec'd out to do parry, and they could also go into some HP tanking. But at this point, I think that you're really wasting their potential. I think they're really meant to do damage and to use their agility to dodge, just because they are the only Skaven unit that can have 9 agility and 15 strength, or 15 strength and 9 agility. They have enough physical points to support that kind of a build, so it's a waste of time to go any other real, like, I don't know, sort of tanking builds, if you want to think about it. Like, they are primarily a damage dealer, and they have even high enough dodge if you're going the agility route. Just one last thing, this is his dodge amount without cloth armor. Okay, I gave him light armor. It doesn't give him any dodge bonuses. Okay, so he's at 85% dodge with light armor, and I haven't even upgraded his avoid to level 2 yet, so that's going to be 95% dodge once it hits level 2. And then I still haven't given him knowledge tactics. That'll then 100% dodge. So just think about the Black Skaven. Like, once you have 15 agility, it turns him into a very different animal, and he's just extremely survivable at that point. Whereas if you and he still does very decent damage with the 9 strength with DareDevil, right? DareDevil level 1 gives all his attacks additional 75% damage. So he does quite a bit of damage and is extremely survivable. Whereas the 15 strength one, I would actually go cloth armor. I tried going light armor, and you know, it's just not a good choice, because if your dodge fails with the 15 strength build and they manage to go through your dodge and hit you, you're really, really squishy anyway, even with light armor, that you're not gonna have enough health to be able to survive very long, especially if someone is accurate enough to go through your dodges. And because you don't have as much dodge, when you're only having 9 agility, like, you won't have 85% dodge at this point. You would have maybe 65 or even lower. Like, so I would definitely put him on cloth armor and make his dodge more reliable. Whereas if you're having the 15 agility, I would consider going light armor, because sure, you're not making your dodge more reliable, but your dodge is reliable enough that you can actually support some armor absorption as well, so that even if you do get hit, you're not actually taking as much damage, and it's just he becomes a frontline fighter instead of a backline glass cannon that comes in at the last moment to finish somebody off. So yeah, I'm still playing around with this 15 agility build on Black Skaven, but it seems extremely fun right now. And I will also update in the description below, as well as the links to the forum threads, any further Black Skaven builds that I come up with. In my mind right now, I'm playing around with the idea of actually giving him Born to be leader, so that turning him into a leader and seeing what a Black Skaven can do as a leader, as well as a Night Runner version of that. But before I do that, I'm just going to do all my basic builds for all the Skaven units, and then continue on with my Let's Play, because hey, that's the point, right? I'm trying to go through my Let's Play, and you know, this is just the beginning before my Let's Play of me creating builds so that people can look at it while watching my Let's Play and realize that these are the builds that I'm going for on my units. Okay, so that's all I have to say for the Black Skaven for now. Thank you for watching my channel. Subscribe if you guys enjoy my content and want to continue to see more. I will be uploading more videos, at least probably once a day, once every 2 days. I can upload pretty frequently. So thank you, and have a nice one.